Hi everyone, welcome to this solution video to a Python challenge. We're looking at a doctor's COVID-19 data processor. It's collecting temperatures. Any temperature between 35 and 41 is rejected. We've got some functions available here which we have to code, and we also have to code a main program. So let's have a look at the available functions. The first one is getTemp, which gives the user 3 chances to enter a valid temperature in this range. If it gets a valid temperature, it returns it, otherwise it returns -1. So let's program the getTemp function. I'm just going to create a variable called chances, and I'm going to assign it a starter value of 0. I'm going to say while chances is less than 3, so 0, 1, or 2, and we're going to get a temperature. It's a number, so I'm going to use app.getTextInput, but this is getting text. And I want to convert this to be a decimal number, so I'm just going to use the float function to do the conversion for me. So if I enter 21.6 as the getText input, the float function will change that to 21.6, which is a decimal number. It's not text anymore. That means we can do maths with it and other number processing. If temp is greater than or equal to 35 and temp is less than or equal to 41, that's the acceptable range, we're going to return it. That's the end of the function. Okay. If we're still in the loop, we're just going to update chances. So it starts at 0, we give a chance. If we get a number, we return it, and if not, we just update the chances. We're just tracking how many chances we're giving the user. Okay, so to test this, let's just don't forget to return. If we get to line 18, it means we didn't return anything, and we're out of the loop, which means the user had 3 chances. If we reach line 18, it means the 3 chances are done. We're returning -1. Okay. So let's print a call to this function and see what the return value is. 1, that's invalid, 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 return of -1. Invalid, valid, that's my second chance, yep, it's happy, is it okay, that's fine. Invalid, invalid, valid, yep. So it seems to work. This logic seems to work to give the user 3 chances to enter a number. Okay, so have a think about it, see if you can figure out what's going on there. The next function that we were asked to design is getName. It just gets and returns a patient's name. I think that code there is exactly what we're looking for. There's one thing missing, isn't there? Anyway, let's use it. Don't forget to return the name. It returns it, right? So I think that's the getName function. Let's just get rid of that. So that's the getName function. That's the getTemp function. GetAge, this function gets and returns a patient's age. Are there any limits on that? I don't think so. I think it's just getting and returning a patient's age. Now remember, we're going to use app.getTextInput. But don't forget, we want it to be a number, so I'm going to convert it this time using the int function, which gives me a whole number. And don't forget to return age. So I think that's a solution to the getAge function. Output data. This function outputs all of the data onto the screen, name, age, and result. Let's do that in a minute. I just want to see what this result thing is about. Get result. If temp is it takes a parameter. Okay, so it processes whatever this is. If temp is -1, invalid test. If temp is between 35 and 37.2, normal. If temp is between 37 and 37, blah, 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 inclusive. If temp is higher than isolate. Okay, so let's just code that. Def get result. And it processes a parameter, which I'm calling temp. If temp is the same as 0, then we were returning, what are we returning? Invalid test. Else, if temp is between 35 and 37.2, we're going to return normal. And if temps between 37.3 and 37.7, we're going to return come back tomorrow. And finally, if it's greater than 37, I think we're going to do an elif here as well. If temp is greater than 37.7, we're going to return isolate. Now, I'm not sure if this is really going to work actually, because what if temp is 26? 26 doesn't equal 0, so that's not true. 26 is not in that range. It's not in that range, and it's not in that range. So if temp is less than 35, our function doesn't return anything. I think that's going to be a problem. But we're just following the problem scenario, so let's just follow the problem at the moment, and we'll deal with that later. Output data, name, age, result. And let's just keep this very simple. I'm just going to use print with our good friend f. Name, age, and result. So those are all my function definitions. I've now got to write my main program. Print a message telling the user to enter a name or exit to quit the program. Enter a name or exit to quit. Get a name. Okay. While name is not exit. So we're going into a loop. Get age, get temp, display result, get next name. What's it called? Output data. And then get the next name. So we're repeating this line of code here. Now I think if we run this program, we might have a problem with the output data. If the temp is... Oh no, because temp might be -1, right? Temp is returning -1. or it's returning a valid number. So the output data, the get result, which processes temp, that's wrong, isn't it? If temp is -1, invalid test. Okay, the program should work. And if we call that program, I'm not going to run it, but that is a suggested solution to COVID temps.